Your tenant gave a notice to vacate and end their tenancy. Now your work begins. As a landlord, it is your responsibility to give the tenant a notice of pre-move-out inspection. Now, the pre-move-out inspection is a fairly new rule required that requires that landlords give the tenant a notice that says they have a right to call you in while they're still living at the property, while they have possession, and ask you what they need to do to make the property, put the property in a condition so they get their deposit back. So, if you need a copy of the pre-move-out inspection letter, we'll be happy to send that to you. It is required. If you fail to send the tenant this letter, you could lose your right to withhold any of the deposit regardless of the condition the tenant leaves the property in. I also recommend, highly recommend, that you give the tenant a pre-move-out inspection checklist. That is a checklist that tells them what you expect them to do and how you expect them to leave the property. Yes, I know you did this when they moved in, but you need to do it again when they give you that notice to vacate. And here we have a list, a pre-move-out inspection list, and also a narrative that talks about how to clean and what needs to be cleaned. I strongly suggest that you give all of this to your tenant as soon as you receive that notice to vacate. One more thing. When the tenant actually vacates the property, you need to go through in writing. Actually, many property management companies now do their inspections on the iPad, so everything's electronic. But if you don't have that capability, at least have a checklist that you can go through the property and note the condition of every room and everything in that room so that you can well document how the tenant left the property. If you need one of these forms, we'll be happy to send that to you as well, or you can come in and pick one up. Regardless, you must follow the rules when a tenant gives notice to vacate, or you could lose your right, as I say, to withhold any security deposit.